Hello and welcome to In Song and Story. This is season 2, episode number 8 for the umpteenth time. First time we tried to record a police car or something went by, who knows, you know. Second time we tried to record, the unit switched off. So this is third or fourth time, and there's anyway, we're going good. Copious quantities of wine involved. It is season 2 of In Song and Story, episode number 8. It is December 2nd, 2020. Thank you so much for joining me from wherever you are. Our producer, my producer, suggested we were not getting enough of the Christmas spirit. She deemed it necessary to rectify that. And so she did. But it is true, an actual fact. I mean, take the last few years, you know, you're out shopping, you're in restaurants, you're walking around the streets, there's Christmas music blaring from everywhere. And at this point in time, the first week in December, you've had enough Christmas music. That has not been the case this year, at least not with us. I've heard very, very little. And to that point, I decided to add a Christmas offering to each of the In Song and Story episodes throughout this month for the next 3 weeks. So again, thank you so much for joining me. First song is called The Flower Seller, and this was written by a man named Neil Miller. We recorded this as Terra Nova back in Philadelphia in the winter of 1982, early spring 1983. The album was produced by Liam Riley from Bagatelle, and Liam brought this song to the table, The Flower Seller. Never had heard it before, and I never heard anybody else sing this song. I recorded it on that album with Terra Nova. I recorded it on a Christmas album with Carol Brown, and I think a live album. So I've recorded this song 3 times. So it's been kind to me. It's a lovely song. I never could catch up with Neil Miller, the man who wrote it. Never. I never could find any information on him, about him, where he's from, how, where, why he wrote this. So if you know him, or you know the song and have some way to get in touch with him, I'd love to speak with this man. The Flower Seller. It's about a girl from Buncrana in County Donegal, up there in the Inishowen Peninsula in the northwest of Ireland, in County Donegal. Here, great spot. And through a series of events, she ends up selling flowers on the streets of New York City at Christmas time. Streets of New York will be cold in the winter. There's a million footprints in the snow. An old man roasting chestnuts and a young uilleann piper who plays so easy and slow. And all the young lovers pull up in taxis for flowers to make their love last. White rose for new love, red rose for true love, violets for love of the past. The young piper's family, they come from Buncrana. He knows places she used to know, and it sounds so familiar. It could have been yesterday, but oh, it's a lifetime ago. She remembers her true love the night that she left him, and the sadness when they saw each other part. White rose for new love, red rose for true love, violets for love of the past. The world is a small place in New York at Christmas. Everybody's everybody's friend. sells all the flowers. She might buy a ticket and go back to Buckranna again. And all the young lovers pull up in taxis for flowers to make their love last. White rose for new love, red rose for true love, violets, love of the past. She returned on vacation to visit relations, and the love she left standing on the quay. But now he wears a band of gold on her finger. She once thought her own disheartened. Once more she must roam. She might have liked to stay, but memory would betray the wounds deep within her heart. The wind blew on the Galway Bay once more. She must sail away. Violets for love of the past. And all the young lovers pull up in taxis for flowers to make their love last. White rose for new love, red rose for true love, violets for love of the past. And all the young lovers pull up in taxis for flowers to make their love last. White rose for new love, red rose for true love, violets for love of the past. Love of the past. For love of the past. Song called The Flower Seller. Once again, I believe written by a man named Neil Miller. If you know of him or are in contact with him, please let me know. I'd love to speak with the man. Second song was written by Michael Smith in 1968. It was made famous by Steve Goodman in 1973, and in Irish circles was made famous by Liam Clancy. And Michael Smith was from the Chicago area. He died in August, just this year in August, of I think it was colon cancer. So another great musician gone. But this is a song I have not played in a long time. And before I ever came to America, there was a bunch of us, I think 14 in all. We worked in Holland in a small town called Oosterhout in a cement factory there. We worked for the company MF Kent. Jerry Mulroy was with me, and as two electricians, me and Jerry. And Alan Tormey and Porry Berth and Noel Chute were three of the fitters. I don't know who else. I think it was maybe Noel Tiernan was the fourth fitter. And some Benny Smith and some of the labourers. We had a great time. 1979 in the winter in Oosterhout in Holland. But this song always reminds me of that period of my life. And it's a sad song written about dementia or Alzheimer's, as we know now. Beautiful song. And I hope we do it justice. It's been a long time. The Dutchman's not the kind of man who keeps his thumb jammed in the dam that holds his dreams in. That's a secret only Margaret knows. When Amsterdam is golden in the morning, Margaret brings him breakfast. She believes him. He thinks the tulips bloom beneath the snows. He's mad as he can be, but Margaret only sees that sometimes. Sometimes she sees her unborn children in his eyes. Let us go to the banks of the ocean, where the walls rise above the Zuyder Zee. Long ago, I used to be a young man. Now dear Margaret remembers that for me. The Dutchman still wears wooden shoes, his cap and coat are patched with love where Margaret sold them. Sometimes he thinks he's still in Rotterdam. He watches tugboats down canals and calls out to them when he thinks he knows the captain. Till Margaret comes to take him home again, through unforgiving streets that trip him, though she holds his arm. Sometimes he thinks he's alone, calls her name. Let us go to the banks of the ocean, where the walls rise above the Zuyder Zee. Long ago, I used to be a young man. Now dear Margaret remembers that for me. The windmen twirl the winter in. She winds his muffler tighter, they said, in the kitchen. The tea with whiskey keeps away the dew. He sees her for a moment, calls her name. She makes his bed up, singing some old love song. She learned it when the tune was very new. He sings a line or two. They sit together in the night. The Dutchman falls asleep and Margaret blows the candle out. Let us go to the banks of the ocean, where the walls rise above the Zuyder Zee. Long ago, I used to be a young man. Now dear Margaret remembers that for me. Let us go to the banks of the ocean, where the walls rise above the Zuyder Zee. Long ago, I used to be a young man. Now dear Margaret remembers that for me. Great song, a song called The Dutchman, written by Michael Smith in 1968 and recorded by Steve Goodman and Liam Clancy, to name only two. Cheers. Hope all is well in your world as well as it can be expected. 2021 around the corner. Oh mama. We've got 3 tours going to Ireland. 3 tours going to Ireland in July. I need to post, the last tour is the Enchanted Tour. The first 2 tours were ones that were cancelled this year, and so people are hopefully going to come with us. We just transferred next year. And we had an autumn tour this year, which was cancelled. That is called the Enchanted Ireland Tour next year. I'll post anybody who is interested in coming. One of a great time with Owen Mohan from Lisnaskea and County Fermanagh, our driver. A great time. Leave you with this song. This is another song written in the 60s. Written by Peter Sarstedt, who I often thought was a one-hit wonder, but he had a song called Frozen Orange Juice, which I'm not familiar with at all. But this was a big song for him in 68 or 69, much to his surprise. He was born in India, I think, in 1951, and he died in 2017. He moved to England when he was... Somebody needs a new muffler right there. He moved to England when he was 13 years old. I just got great memories of this song, and so I don't do it too often. If you know it, sing along. Thank you so much for joining me for this series. We still have some requests. We're going to get some Noel Woods down there. I promise I will do Nancy Spain. And then somebody sent me a request for the stone outside Dan Murphy's door, I think, which I don't know, but I'll learn. Promise. Okay. You talk like Marlene Dietrich. You dance like Gigi Jeanne. Your clothes are all made by Balmain. There's diamonds and pearls in your hair, yes there are. You live in a fancy apartment off the boulevard Saint-Michel, where you keep your Rolling Stones records and you're friends with Sasha Distel, yes you are. Where do you go to, my lovely, when you're alone in your bed? Tell me the thoughts that surround you. I want to look inside your head, yes I do. I've seen all your qualifications that you got from the Sorbonne, and the painting you stole from Picasso. Your loveliness goes on and on, yes it does. When you go on your summer vacation, you go to Juan Le Pont with your carefully designed topless swimsuit. You get an even suntan on your back and on your legs. And when the snow falls, you're found in St. Maurice with the others of the jet set, where you sip your Napoleon brandy, but you never get your lips wet, no you don't. But where do you go to, my lovely, when you're alone in your bed? Tell me the thoughts that surround you. I want to look inside your head, yes I do. Your name is heard in high places. You know the Aga Khan. He sent you a racehorse for Christmas, and you keep it just for fun, for a laugh. And they say when you get married, it will be to a millionaire. Well, they don't realize where you came from, and I wonder if they really care or give a damn. Where do you go to, my lovely, when you're alone in your bed? Tell me the thoughts that surround you. I want to look inside your head, yes I do. I remember the back streets of Naples, two children dressed in rags, both touched with a burning ambition to shake off their lowly born tags, and they try. So look into my eyes, Marie Claire, and remember just who you are. Then go and forget me forever, but I know you still bear the scars deep inside. For I know where you go to, my lovely, when you're alone in your bed. I know the thoughts that surround you, for I can look inside your head. La 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 la. the writing of Peter Sarsted. That's I remember that back in the days of Clogher Head and Mornington Beach, back in Drogheda. Anyway, thank you so much for joining me. Good night. God bless.